Hello everyone, today we will talk about transiting Venus. Transiting Venus is passing through the third house. How transiting Venus will behave in the third house depends on the position of the third house. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in the third house or aspects to the owner of the third house. But the basics are as follows. As Venus transits through your third house, you may notice a lively increase in your social life. Positive communication, strong relationships, a pleasant and harmonious atmosphere in communication, and social interactions of the individual. This transit encourages charming exchanges, and a positive and pleasant atmosphere in your immediate environment. During the transit, quick conversations about daily gossip with others, meetings with relatives and neighbors, and short fun trips will give you a sense of fulfillment. You are most attracted to people now who can stimulate your mind and connect with you on an intellectual level. You simply want someone to talk to about all the gossip that fills the daily press and everything that interests you on a daily basis. During this period, you are generally quite cheerful in your approach to others, and also somewhat intellectual, and generally speaking, Venus in the third house is quite hyperactive in nature, and as such is quite social. With Venus entering the third house, the influence of the third house changes in several key areas, namely communication style and social interactions with the immediate environment. There is a tendency in communication style to change conversations so that conversations are more diplomatic and polite. People become more inclined to use sweet and kind words, which ultimately brings an excellent period for writers and speakers. Good relationships with siblings, neighbors, and colleagues are especially emphasized, and since the third house is naturally ruled by Gemini, who are a sign of duality and interaction, there will be at least two variants of people who will arouse your interest in communication or something more. If you decide to take a short trip during Venus's third house, it is very likely that you will meet someone there, either through a sibling, a neighbor, or even online. This person will be a writer, a youth worker, or a communications professional. So engaging in local, light-hearted conversations will lead to meaningful connections, and networking, both in person and through social media, will be especially fruitful. Either way, this is a time when socializing is not only enjoyable, but also beneficial. As we have already mentioned, Venus does very well in the third house, too well in most cases, for too much can lead to hyperactivity. As you are more focused on changing the dynamics of your local relationships, you will become aware of new desires arising from within that begin to pull your interest in a direction that conflicts with your previous trajectory. You will be drawn to venture out of some kind of comfort zone into the unknown realm of pleasing everyone, and this is often a necessary step to take in order to change your life for the better. But is it really for the better? However, you will also want to recognize how the way you deal with change, and how it affects your relationships. If this happens, it is best to remain open-minded to thoughts that encourage change, while also keeping in mind the temporary nature of this transit, as others in your environment may not understand why you are initiating change now, so it will be important to communicate effectively and with integrity about how you feel. Another manifestation of this transit is that instead of you initiating change in local relationships, it is coming from someone else, such as a neighbor who wants to diplomatically resolve a tense neighborhood relationship. If so, reconciling and accepting all the reasons the other person brings up and gives for wanting change is crucial, albeit short-lived. The transit is a great opportunity to recognize who holds a special place in your life and who should be prioritized in expressing love and gratitude to those around you, neighbors, relatives, and selected extended family. Simple gestures and a sincere message will certainly go a long way in nurturing these relationships. But sitting in multiple chairs, being hyperactive, and pleasing everyone has its consequences and costs. Individuals will face saying things that are not sincere, or acting hypocritically, all to avoid embarrassment. There will also be a tendency to waste time discussing trivial matters, just to please the other party. Considering all the circumstances and advantages of Venus status in the third house, we can conclude that Venus is the one who even does very well in the third house, and each further deeper level of insight gives you the opportunity to discover who in your local environment deserves a considerable amount of love and diplomacy. And you should use that moment to let those people know that you love them or appreciate them.